to make sure Britt's okay. Who is she?
You mean who was she? She's supposed to be dead.
In the fast-paced, ever-twisting world of Port Charles, audiences are accustomed to surprise returns, tragic deaths, and plot lines that defy logic. Yet sometimes, the most jarring shocks occur not on screen but behind the scenes. The sudden and unexplained departure of actor Rory Gibson from the iconic soap opera General Hospital has sent ripples of confusion and concern through the show's dedicated fanbase. His character, the earnest and kind-hearted Cody Bell, was seemingly poised for a significant future, making his abrupt exit not just a narrative curveball, but a genuine behind-the-scenes mystery. This is more than just a casting change. It's a story with two halves, the on-screen conclusion for Cody Bell and the off-screen enigma surrounding Rory Gibson. To understand the full impact of this exit, we must dissect the final scenes, explore the potential real-world reasons, and examine what his loss means for the fabric of General Hospital. The on-screen goodbye. Cody Bell's whimper, not a bang. For viewers watching the drama unfold, Cody Bell's exit was notably understated and lacked the explosive, dramatic flair typical of General Hospital. There was no tragic accident at the Metro Court, no confrontation with a long-lost enemy, and no tearful farewell at the airport. Instead, Cody's departure was woven into the existing tapestry of Port Charles's conflicts, primarily through his complicated relationship with Sasha Gilmore. Cody's journey had been one of redemption. Introduced as a somewhat opportunistic grifter with a mysterious connection to Mac Scorpio, he evolved into a genuine hero and a pillar of support for Sasha during her most harrowing trials. He was her protector, her confidant, and the one person who saw through the manipulative schemes of Dr. Montague and the nefarious Selena Wu. Their romance was blossoming, a beacon of hope for two damaged souls. This made the nature of his exit all the more poignant. The catalyst was the escalating threat from Selena Wu. Cody, in his quest to protect Sasha and free her from Selena's gambling debts, found himself in too deep. His attempts to outmaneuver the powerful mob boss put a target not only on his back, but also on Sasha's. In a moment of heartbreaking clarity, Cody realized that his very presence in Port Charles was a liability to the woman he loved. The most selfless act he could perform was to leave. His final scenes were a masterclass in quiet devastation. He didn't make a grand announcement. He simply looked at Sasha, understood the perpetual danger he was bringing into her life, and made the choice to disappear. He left behind a vague note, a heartbroken Sasha, and a legacy of unanswered questions for his on-screen father, Mac. It was an exit born of love and desperation, a noble sacrifice trope that, while emotionally effective, felt jarringly final for a character with so much unresolved potential, namely the ongoing exploration of his relationship with Mac and his rightful claim to the Frisco gold coin. This narrative choice is often a telltale sign of a behind-the-scenes decision that required a swift write-out. The writers were left with the unenviable task of closing a chapter without the luxury of a long, drawn-out storyline, leading to an exit that felt rushed to many fans. The off-screen enigma. Parsing the silence. While Cody Bell's motive for leaving Port Charles was clear, Rory Gibson's reason for leaving General Hospital remains shrouded in official silence. This vacuum of information has naturally become a breeding ground for speculation, with several theories emerging from industry norms and fan observation. Theory 1. The contractual non-renewal. The most straightforward explanation is that the show's producers simply chose not to renew Gibson's contract. Soap operas are constantly evaluating their large casts, balancing character longevity with budget constraints and evolving story directions. It's possible that the writers, after mapping out future plots for the next year, felt that Cody Bell's story had reached a natural, albeit premature, conclusion. Perhaps the planned arcs for Mac, Felicia, and Sasha were steering away from Cody's orbit, making him expendable in the eyes of the producers. While this is a cold, business-like reality of television, it often lacks the dramatic satisfaction audiences crave. Theory 2. A creative decision or backstage dynamic. The entertainment industry is a collaborative but complex environment. While there has been no public reporting of any friction, it is always a possibility that creative differences or behind-the-scenes dynamics played a role. An actor might desire a different direction for their character than what the writers have planned, or there could be chemistry issues, personal, not romantic, that make a long-term working relationship challenging. Without any concrete evidence or leaks, this remains purely speculative, but it is a common enough occurrence in television to be a considered factor. Theory 3. The actor's personal choice. Another strong possibility is that Rory Gibson made the choice to leave. Actors depart successful shows for a multitude of personal reasons. He may have wanted to pursue other roles, in film, primetime television, or on stage, that a demanding, year-round soap opera schedule would not permit. The desire for artistic variety is a powerful motivator. Alternatively, personal reasons, such as a desire to relocate, focus on family, or simply take a break from the relentless grind of a daily drama, could have been the driving force. Actors, like anyone else, are entitled to privacy regarding their personal lives, which would explain the lack of a detailed public statement. Theory 4. A temporary absence? A sliver of hope among fans is the possibility that this exit is not permanent. Soap opera history is littered with characters who left under a cloud of ambiguity, only to return years, or even decades, later with a new actor or a shocking new story. The nature of Cody's exit, leaving to protect Sasha, is a classic out that allows for a future return. He could come back once the threat of Selena has been neutralized, ready to reclaim his life and his love. However, the definitive tone of both the on-screen exit and the official news of Gibson's departure suggests this is a definitive conclusion, at least for this incarnation of the character. The ripple effect, what Rory Gibson's exit means for Port Charles. The loss of Rory Gibson, and by extension Cody Bell, creates a significant vacuum in several key storylines and disrupts the show's character ecosystem. 1. Sasha Gilmore's fractured future. Sasha has endured more tragedy than perhaps any other character in recent memory. The loss of her baby, her husband, and her sanity, followed by brutal exploitation, had left her shattered. Cody was presented as her rock, the one person who fought for her without ulterior motives. His departure leaves her profoundly isolated and vulnerable once more. This opens the door for a potential relapse into grief or a new, perhaps darker, storyline where she builds herself up without a romantic partner. However, it also feels like a narrative betrayal for a character who had finally earned a measure of happiness. 2. Mac Scorpio's unfinished business. The emotional core of Cody's introduction was his relationship with Mac. The slow-burn revelation that Cody was his son, the initial distrust, and the gradual, fragile building of a father-son bond was one of the more nuanced and heartfelt stories on the canvas. 4. A missed opportunity for the Scorpio-Davis clan. Cody's integration into the sprawling Scorpio and Davis families held immense potential. Imagine scenes of him navigating family dinners with Maxie, Spinelli, and Felicia are now lost. His presence could have revitalized Mac and Felicia's roles, giving them a central, ongoing family drama. This exit effectively dismantles a promising new branch of one of the show's core families before it ever truly had a chance to grow. A farewell without closure. In the end, the departure of Rory Gibson is a stark reminder that the world of television is as unpredictable behind the camera as it is on screen. For fans, it's a frustrating experience. A story cut short, a character's potential unfulfilled, and a lack of clarity that makes it difficult to process the loss. Whether his exit was due to a producer's decision, a personal ambition, or a private matter, we must respect the silence. Rory Gibson brought a charming, grounded, and empathetic energy to Cody Bell, making him an instant fan favorite in a relatively short amount of time. His performance made audiences care, which is why his absence is felt so deeply. The legacy of Cody Bell will be that of a redeemed man who loved not wisely, but too well, ultimately sacrificing his own happiness for the safety of the woman he loved. The legacy of Rory Gibson's exit, however, serves as a sobering lesson in the transient nature of soap operas, where even the most beloved characters are subject to the unseen winds of change that blow through the halls of ABC. For now, the page has been turned, and Port Charles must move on, forever altered by the quiet departure of a hero who simply vanished. General Hospital, GH. Spoilers note that November sweeps will bring drama and chaos as Drew Kane's Cameron Matheson shooter case may be solved, while Veronica, Ronnie, Bard, Erica Slezak, exits and rocky romances take center stage. As GH viewers know, storylines tend to culminate during sweeps months. This is when characters meet their demise, secrets are exposed, and wedding craziness occurs. Currently, everyone has major question marks where Drew's shooting case is concerned. While the PCPD is zeroing in on Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, the truth is, the first main suspect charged is never usually the perpetrator, so fans should expect other persons of interest to surface. With that said, Drew's shooter will likely be exposed, even if it's just to audiences and not the police, at some point during November sweeps. Meanwhile, Ronnie has made a huge impact on the canvas, with most of the Quartermaines welcoming Monica Quartermaine's, Leslie Charleson, long-lost sister, into the fold. Still, Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, is not a fan. It's been great seeing Erica Slezak back on daytime drama screens. However, her storyline will come to a close sometime during November. As Ronnie seems like a decent person, someone is behind the deception of her getting the Q mansion. Looking at you, Martin Gray, Michael Knight. So this will likely blow up next month. Will this redeem Ronnie in Tracy's eyes? In other GH November sweeps news, Laura Wright will celebrate 20 years of Carly Corinthos as of November 4th. Wright entered the role as Carly recast number 4 in 2005 and has been going strong as the character since. She also happens to have the bragging rights as the actress who's been Carly the longest, so there's a chance the ABC soap may showcase a Carly-centric episode during Sweeps Month to celebrate this milestone. With that said, Carly may have to deal with a breakup, as her romance with Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, seems mighty rocky. During the week of October 6th, the GH writers set up a storyline where Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, revealed as Vaughn Bryce Durfee, was a WSB agent to her mom. Joss was tasked with the mission to keep Carly occupied while Brennan spoke with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, so she decided to use a WSB trick of sticking to the truth. As Vaughn is slated to become Brennan's second in command, Carly was bound to learn that he was an agent at WSB anyway. Carly consoled her daughter, who was visibly upset, but then became very outraged with her boyfriend for knowing about Vaughn's dangerous job, but not bringing her into the loop. The GH writers almost seem to foreshadow what will happen when Carly learns Jocelyn's little WSB secret. November sweeps would be the perfect time for it all to come out. Finally, will Maxie Jones return during November sweeps? It would be a good time, especially now that Nathan West, Ryan Pavey, is back. Kristen Storms revealed in an Instagram video prior to her hiatus that her character would be returning either November or December of this year, so fans will need to stay tuned to the ABC soap to see what happens next. General Hospital spoilers suggest plenty of bombshells and action come November sweeps, so it'll be a month of episodes fans won't want to miss. Check out CDL often for all the juiciest General Hospital spoilers, updates, and news, and make us your go-to source for everything GH. General Hospital, GH. Spoilers note that Laura Wright will be celebrating 20 years as Carly Spencer as of this November, and there's a good chance the show will take the opportunity to acknowledge this milestone with an episode dedicated to the pivotal character. Wright stepped into the shoes of Carly on November 4th, 2005. As Carly recast number 4, some fans argue she's the best of the bunch, and she's certainly the longest actress to be in the role. Carly is a key player in the land of Port Charles as it is, and has her hand in many storylines, so it's easy to see that the ABC soap will likely do some sort of Carly-centered episode to acknowledge the actress's staying power on the show. It'll be filled with tons of flashbacks, good and bad memories, as well as a reminder of Carly's history, after Wright took over, that is. But what could set up this special episode for Wright? Here are 3 possibilities. 1. Carly's near-death experience. There's nothing like staring at an untimely demise to stir up reflection. There's danger at every corner in the land of Port Charles, so there's always a chance that Carly could get accidentally shot, get caught up in an explosion, or fall down the stairs and land in a coma. Either way, if Carly's navigating toward that light, a mirage of her past indiscretions via video clips could be brought up in flashbacks she remembers, and while family and loved ones talk about Carly's past. 2. Carly stands trial. GH fans seem to believe that Carly may place herself in the line of fire where Drew Kane's Cameron Matheson shooting is concerned to save her son, Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson. It'll be a split-second decision on Carly's part, and she could land on trial for Drew's shooting. As the prosecution lays out their case, this is a perfect opportunity for the show to present all of Carly's past crimes, sketchy schemes, and shenanigans. 3. Brennan's betrayal sparks romantic reflection. Carly is over the moon about her recent romance, but she'll be outraged when she finds out about Jack Brennan's, Chris McKenna, lies. Heck hath no fury like Carly Spencer Scorn. However, when she breaks off things with the WSB head, which feels as if it's coming soon, will she also take a moment to reflect on all her other failed past romances? General Hospital spoilers remind fans that Wright's 20-year milestone also happens to be during November sweeps, so fans should brace themselves for a Carly-filled tribute episode, stacked with drama,